Hey, what's up, guys? It's Isaac Thomas.
And this is Steven Simmons.
And this is 80 Proof.
This is our first episode. This is a little podcast we're doing. And basically what we're going to be doing every week is going through some unusual news stories. And we're going to drink alcohol while we do it. Because everyone knows the best conversations happen while you drink alcohol.
When you're drunk.
When you're drunk. Everyone knows it.
Those are the greatest stories. All right, so what you got to drink?
All right. So, the big reveal.
Okay.
We got some Evan Williams peach today. And I just want to note that Evan Williams is not a sponsor of ours.
I mean, they can be.
They can be eventually if they're, whatever.
I'm down.
But I'm down to it. But yeah, let's get started.
Little Ev.
Heavy Ev.
Grab the ice bucket.
Ice bucket. Fancy.
She got like
We can
some kind of scoop.
cut part of this out.
What'd you say?
We can cut part of this out.
All right. I like 2 cubes.
I like 7 cubes.
7 cubes. I got 2.
Say when.
When? It's very peachy.
It's very peachy.
All right. Cheers. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's actually pretty smooth. It's not
Not
more
bad.
smoother than I expected.
I was expecting it to be like candy, which is still pretty sweet.
I was expecting it to be like just straight bourbon, but with like a hint of peach.
Yeah.
So
All right.
the takeaway from this is Evan Williams peach is peachy.
It's peachy. It's peachy.
All right, let's get to our first news story.
First news story. All right, so this was local. Got Indiana teacher could lose her job after a blackface image surfaces on Facebook. So basically, and this dude is local, like it's Brown County, which is like, what, an hour away,
Yeah.
hour and a half away. So, so it looks like he had a picture come up from like 2007, 2008, where he went to a Halloween party and dressed up like Bob Marley, but couldn't stop there. Had to paint his face black.
So how did these pictures come up? Now
It doesn't say. It just says.
So maybe his students.
I'm sure somebody went on his Facebook and because I mean this is a very, very short article. It's literally like a paragraph.
So he goes to a place called Brown County, and he goes in blackface. Says Bob Marley. I don't get why people don't. I guess there's enough people out there who still don't understand blackface is not okay. It's not. It's never okay.
Never okay. Never okay. I just don't understand like why this is still a thing.
I don't know. I'm just like, what's going through your head when you're like, I'm gonna go with Bob Marley. Wait, I gotta look like Bob Marley. So then I'm gonna paint my face brown and look like a minstrel show or something.
For those of you who don't know what a minstrel is, go home and Google it. Learn some history. It's not a good thing.
It's not a good thing. No.
Not a good thing.
A dark
Anyways, so yeah, basically this. What'd you say? The dark what?
I'm saying it's a dark part of history.
It is a very dark part of history. No
I
pun
wasn't trying to
No
make
pun
a joke.
intended.
It just is. It's
Making a joke out of this.
No, I wasn't.
All right, so yeah.
It's nothing funny.
So,
about
anyways, yeah. I mean, he's got a thing here where it's like where he's like trying to defend himself.
What do you say?
So basically, it says, and this is in quotes. So it says in approximately 2008 or 7 or thereabouts. That's what I like to say. In their thereabouts on Halloween, I dressed up as Bob Marley, a character that I admire, who spreads love, peace, and hope. And I dressed up. I'm sorry. All right. I admire, who spreads love, peace, and hope. And I dressed up as this person out of respect for him and what he believes, and not in the intent of offending anybody or insulting. This makes no sense. Offending anybody, or I think it's supposed to be insinuating, a little typo here, that another race is superior to another. He's like,
Where?
it says he's currently on unpaid leave.
Yeah, I think I think maybe he just really didn't understand. Maybe he doesn't know the history. But what was the history is they a long time ago black performers used to be they were pretty much forced to put on black paint and like red lips and
act the way that like stereotypically.
Yeah, act in a stereotypical black way to perform. So there's like not a lot of dignity in it.
I don't think it was just black performers though. I think white people.
Yeah, white people did it too.
Yeah, which this is Wikipedia, but it says the minstrel show. Jeez, it's a good thing I can read and talk at the same time.
I've had too much peach with Evan Williams.
I've taken like 3 drinks. Yeah, just something in the early 19th century. Every show consisted of a comic, skits, variety acts, and dancing of the musical performance. People specifically of African performance. So basically, they dress up like black people.
Yeah.
Which is horrible. I know there used to be like a lot of Disney characters and stuff that were dressed like minstrel.
Yeah.
Like early Disney.
And movies. Then Looney Tunes had some really old ones where. Yeah. I remember there's one where Bugs Bunny he dresses in blackface, and he's like talking in a stereotypical slave way, and he's like master, he's talking like that. It's really it's hard to watch, but that's. Yeah. Do you think if he didn't understand, do you think he should be fired from his job as a teacher? Does that have anything to do with his job as a teacher?
No, it has nothing to do with his job as a teacher. However, like, how many people have we seen up until this point that have been fired? Or, I mean, like, look at what's going on with Cardinal Stadium right now. You know what I mean? Like, Papa John's is taken off of it because for racial type stuff, it's the same difference. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or other people that have done. I mean, and didn't like just like one of the presidents or something at U of L that was part of the school. Didn't he just get in trouble for doing the same thing?
I don't know. I think his was like money.
Regardless, he's had other examples.
Yeah,
this is unacceptable. Completely unacceptable.
So do you think it makes a difference that it was like a decade ago and I mean he didn't really apologize, I guess he kinda.
No, he didn't apologize at all. He just said that he has respect for Bob Marley and he wasn't trying to say another race is superior.
Which is good. It's good that he has respect for Bob Marley, but you can have respect for him in other ways.
Smoke weed.
Yeah, you can smoke weed. You can wear a Bob Marley T-shirt. There's a lot of those out there. You can, right. You can even wear the hat.
I'm looking at a picture of the costume. Like the costume would have sufficed. Like,
yeah, he could have. Yeah, he could have just done the costume. It's too much. And the fact, I wonder where he was, what party he was at where no one said anything to him.
I don't know.
You know, like there's the fact that this is just now becoming a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. But this is on WDRB, right here in Louisville. Let's see. This was put out yesterday. At some point yesterday. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he should. If nothing else, he should just apologize and acknowledge that, he shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, crappy apology, if you can even call it that. And it says he's currently on unpaid leave. So.
Okay, well, that's something.
More of the story is people.
The moral story is do not
do blackface.
Do not paint your face black if you're not black. Or don't paint your face black.
Even if you are black, why do you need to paint your face black? At no point in time is it okay, and I'm looking at the camera, at no point in time is it okay to paint your face black for any reason whatsoever.
Unless you're like a football player.
Unless you're a football player, you're going to war, you can put the chalk marks under your eyes. Other than that, nothing. Nathan. All right, what's next?
All right, so this one is from NPR, and this is kind of a funny story. So this guy in California, he won the lottery. He did a scratch off thing. He wins. He thinks it's $10,000. So he goes home. He tells his roommates, "Hey, I won $10,000 in the lottery." So then he puts his lottery ticket in his coat pocket and goes to sleep. Oh yeah, I know. So
wait,
see where this is going.
Did he like go to sleep in the jacket? Like
yeah,
I think as he's like sleeping.
I think he hung it up and then he went to sleep, which is worse. But anyway, so the next day he goes to like cash in this ticket, and they tell him this is not a winning ticket. This is like a duplicate of a winning ticket. So then it turns out one of his roommates went to his room and stole his winning ticket and replaced it with like a fake one. And then so luckily the California lottery does they kind of investigate anytime anyone wins a prize over $600, they investigate. So they looked at the footage and everything the footage of him buying the ticket. They figured out that this was a case of theft. So so the guy gets his ticket back, and it turns out it's not $10,000 but $10 million. Yeah, so he won.
That's a big difference. How do you miss? I have
no idea.
That's a few zeros that you're missing there.
Maybe he didn't. I don't know. Maybe he just looked at it once and he's like, "Oh, I won." And he's maybe he just didn't expect to win at all.
Or he was just that tired.
Yeah, he's tired enough to put his winning ticket in his coat pocket and leave it hanging up. So, how mad would you be if it's $10 million your roommate just steals?
This dude does not deserve $10 million.
I don't know what his plan was. He gonna leave? Was he gonna he's like, if he's his roommate, he's clearly under some kind of lease or something. Is he just gonna flee the country with the $10 million? Like, I don't know.
How rich do you have to be though to be like, I'll turn it in tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Like, tomorrow, maybe Friday, maybe Monday. I don't know. Take my time with it.
Yeah. Moral of the story is, if you win the lottery, don't tell anyone. You cash in the money and then you run, and don't tell anyone.
And run.
It's like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory when he gets that golden ticket.
What?
You know what I'm talking about? Or Willy Wonka when the kid Charlie gets the ticket and he, and his grandpa tells him like, "Run, Charlie, run as fast as you can, run home." And then because he knows everyone's gonna come after him and get the golden, because he gets the trip to the factory. All right, you're next. Go ahead.
Some crappy roommates.
Yeah, I wonder how long they knew each other. If I don't know.
I mean, doesn't matter.
I guess he at least trusted his roommates enough to leave. He didn't. He assumed they wouldn't steal his $10 million. But that's a lot of money. So maybe
that's what I'm saying. I don't care who you are.
Would you steal it if your roommate wasn't sleeping in the other room and you knew there's $10 million in his coat pocket and you could take it?
Hell yeah. Steal it from my wife.
$10 million. Okay, well that's good enough. If I ever win the lottery, I'll know not to leave it with you.
No, you can leave it with me. You can trust me, Scoop.
Okay. All right.
You can trust me. All right.
All right, what you got?
All right, next article. And this is from the New York Times. Published on the 27th. January 27th. All right, so the title of this says it all. Don't kiss your pet hedgehogs, the CDC warns. So this is literally a thing. And mind you, this is the New York Times. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever read. So, and I've seen people where they kiss their dogs on the mouth. That's just gross.
Don't kiss
your dog in the mouth. That's just... Anyways, all right, so hedgehog owners should refrain from kissing their small, spiky friends, health officials said on Friday. Since October 11th, people across 8 states have been infected with a particular strain of salmonella. CDC has reported all this... all of which is coming from oral contact with a hedgehog. So, and this is saying, and they're even saying as far as saying don't snuggle with your hedgehog. Don't kiss or snuggle hedgehogs because this can spread salmonella germs to your face and mouth. It can make you sick. So, and then it said no deaths have happened. One person has been hospitalized.
So this is kind of like, so this is one person really that's gotten sick.
No, because it's been across 8 states.
So it's an epidemic of people getting sick from kissing kissing their hedgehogs in the mouth or snuggling with them.
Right.
In bed.
Well, the fact that you have to say do not have oral contact with with a hedgehog is just ridiculous. But no, okay.
Unless
so it
says,
hang on. Let me find this real quick. So it said there's 3 cases have been reported in Missouri, 2 in Minnesota. And then there's been infections have been reported in Colorado, Maine, Mississippi, Nebraska,
1 in
Texas,
Indiana.
Huh?
I said 1 in Indiana.
I look like tongue in a hedgehog. Yeah. No, this thing is just ridiculous.
I just don't know how many. I'm surprised there's so many people who, first of all, people who own hedgehogs or have a hedgehog, and then second, people who kiss their hedgehogs, who have oral contact with the hedgehog or snuggle with them.
Yeah.
Because they look like spiky little...
Okay, so wait, hold up. So, and the article goes on to say too, the CDC has had to put this message out before. They're saying like between December 2011 and April 2013, 26 people were infected with the same bacteria strain and salmonella of salmonella. It's gross.
That is gross.
Majority of those people. It says majority of those people were in contact with hedgehogs. One person died and 8 people were hospitalized in that outbreak.
One person died.
One person died
from kissing their hedgehog.
How stupid you? How's like? No, just. How did you? How did your brother die? He's tonguing his hedgehog.
Yeah, nothing could compare to his love for the hedgehog.
I mean, Sonic was a dope game.
Where do hedgehogs come from? What part of the world?
I don't even know.
I don't know. Okay. All right. Well, let's get serious for a minute. This is my serious voice.
Okay, serious.
Okay, so this story is from health.com, which is a real website, I guess. Okay. It's about how there's an increase in college students who are seeking mental health treatment.
Okay.
So basically, a 2018 World Health Organization survey of 14,000 students across the country or across the world found that 1 in 3 said they dealt with mental health disorders in the years leading up to college. This is before college; they're already dealing with mental health disorders. And then there's a 2017 survey by the American College Health Association where students reported that anxiety and depression are among the biggest factors that negatively affect their academic performance. And 42 of the people that were surveyed said that they were so depressed that during college that it was difficult for them to function. Also, between 2009 and 2015, the number of students visiting counseling centers grew by around 30%.
When was that?
Between 2009 and 2015.
Gotcha.
And even though it stopped because enrollment grew, because enrollment only grew 5%. So do you think that's because there's a shift in attitudes about mental health, or because everyone's just less mentally healthy?
I would say, I don't know. Part of me feels like it's a mixture of both, but I think now I think it's a lot more acceptable now, like especially in the minority communities, like to where people are starting to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, that's always been a stigma for African American males, especially like.
Yeah, you just gotta be tough no matter what.
Right, no matter what. So and that's like something for me, like something that I've dealt with, pretty severely, like to the point where I was on medication for it, and it started before I graduated high school. Yeah. So I wasn't on medication then, but I remember, like, coming out of that funk and being like, well, damn, I think that was depression.
Where do you think that came from?
I don't know.
Was it school related?
I mean, it's just a lot of pressure. You get ready to graduate high school, and then it just, because the way that our education system is set up is just stupid. They don't set people up for success. And for me, I was somebody who was not very good at school, and so it's not, that system was just not set up for people that were like me. So when you come out at high school, you're expected to be grown. And you got no idea what the heck you're trying to do. What it is that you want to do with your life. Yeah,
and I was at the school we went. Some schools, as soon as you get to high school, they're pushing you to choose what you're gonna do for the rest of your life. Right. So that's even I think there's even more potential to burn out there.
Burn out in like what, magnet type schools?
Yeah, because I see the benefit of it too, because you're learning something valuable while you're in high school still.
See, like I think it's dependent on the kid. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, because if I would have gone to a magnet school, I think it would have been a lot better for me.
I think I would have too. It's because school is, especially when you're not like, I've never been like the best student either. So it's when you don't care about what you're doing, it just makes it that much harder. So if you have a goal, or like something specific that you're learning to do, then it makes it easier to get interested and to do well.
Sure.
So, and that's true in college too. Like when I was at Ivy Tech, I was a general studies major, and that was like hard. That was so hard because it just didn't matter. It was just like general studies. I didn't have anything to care about. And then I was a journalism major at IUS, and that was like even though it was so much more work and so much harder technically, it was easier to do because I cared about.
Oh, it's your passion. I think that's all you have with anything, though.
Yeah, that's the point. I liked it and I cared about it, so it was just easier to get into it.
Yeah.
So
No, I mean, you've seen like how many NBA players and NFL players have come out now, with like Kevin Love and other people. I saw somebody today, Kelly Oubre Jr. He's a basketball player. I think he's a rookie out of University of Kansas.
Okay.
I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's right.
I'm gonna quote you, so you better get it right.
Pretty sure it's Kansas. We look it up. But anyways, and they were talking about it. Kevin Love talking about having to literally leave the court in the middle of a basketball game.
Yeah.
And being in the middle, like being in the training room, and this dude's making millions of dollars. Like people, like you got little kids looking up to him wearing his jersey and all this kind of craziness, and he's suffering from depression and anxiety and stuff. Like he was talking about like having an anxiety attack in the middle of a game.
Yeah, and that's like a magnified level of that. But I think everyone has that pressure, and especially like in our culture, we value being busy and having a lot to do. So we just fill our lives with as many things as we can possible, and then we don't have any time to take care of ourselves or to, be a mentally sound person because we're just like we get value from going and doing as much stuff as we can.
Right.
So, and then when you're in college, that it's so time consuming and so like it consumes your whole life,
right.
And it's just like easy to get disconnected from your own, advocating for yourself, for taking care of your own mental health. So.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's good to find that balance because I know, like for me, it helps me. Like, and I know, like, mom will get it on me and stuff sometimes because of, well, maybe not mom, but like other people will get on me sometimes and stuff like about how much I'm working and making sure I'm taking care of my family and the kids, all that kind of stuff. And I know, like for me, if I'm not working, I feel complacent and feel like. You know what I mean? I feel lazy. Like I can't sit and just like binge watch Netflix. Yeah, I've never been able to do that. Like,
well, a lot of people are conditioned to think that way. Like you're not doing something worthy if you're not working.
Yeah.
Or if
you're
not like
it's not that. Like I feel like if I'm not busy, if I'm not working on something, especially something that I'm passionate about, like doing like my hobbies or this podcast or working on my clothing or styling or whatever, like. That's when I get depressed. Is when I don't do those things. So I've made it a point to do at least one of those things every single day.
That's good. You got to find a balance, I guess.
Right,
you got to be.
Yeah, and that's my point.
Yeah.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
So obviously, you can work too much, but I make it a point every single day when I come home from work. I spend an hour and a half, and I eat dinner with my family, play with my kids for a second, say hi to my wife, slap her butt, and then in a loving, husbandly way. And then...
Yeah, I mean, I make sure to play with all my kids, too.
Yeah.
I don't have any kids. I made that up. Anyway, all right.
Okay, and I was right. He did go to Kansas.
Kansas, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good. Now I can sleep tonight.
That would have drove me nuts.
All right. What else you got?
All right. Next one. All right. So even if you... All right, so I'll just read the title of this article, and this was just posted today by potnetwork.com.
Pot Network. It's just, that's a...
We're going to talk about weed.
We're going to talk about
some marijuana.
Pot Network.
All right, so football legend Joe Montana has made his second big investment in a marijuana company. So basically, him and he's got a bunch of different investors. But basically, I guess he's the main one that contributed to it, but they invested $75 million into a San Jose-based marijuana company called Caliva. We'll go with Caliva.
How's it spelled?
C-A-L-I-V.
Yeah, it's probably Caliva.
Caliva.
Yeah.
It sounds like a marijuana type name. Anyway.
Yeah,
It sounds like a strain of weed.
Yeah. Got that Caliva.
Got that Caliva for these homes. So anyways, and it just talks about all the different things. It has a breakdown of everything of what all this weed is supposed to, or like what all this money is supposed to be going to. Yeah. So, I mean, what's your opinion on all of this? Because you're seeing like more and more celebrities and basketball players, a lot of athletes especially, these people that have like basically have gone to war for their entire professional career up until whatever point.
Yeah.
Investing in these companies, like.
That's, I don't know, I think that's kind of inevitable. Like, that's...
What's inevitable?
Weed becoming normalized and legalized, because I think there's always been this in our society. There's always been this like stigma on marijuana, like it's dangerous and bad and morally corrupt or something, whatever. So I think our culture's kind of changing over time. Like people are realizing that it's, you know, it's like what they're realizing what it really does, and it seems like it does have some health benefits.
Sure.
And there's a lot of money in it, so
yeah,
people love their weed.
People love the phrase of the day. People love.
You can quote me on that. People love their weed.
Yeah, I mean, I just listened to a whole podcast. There's a podcast that I listen to.
A podcast within a podcast.
A podcast within a podcast.
This is like Inception.
Within a podcast. Mind blown. But do you remember Drama from like Fantasy Factory? Yeah. He's got his own podcast, and it's really good. He puts it out every Wednesday. It's called Short Story Long. But there's been a couple times where he's interviewed a couple of NBA players and stuff like that on there. They're like investing in farms. I just listened to the Joe Rogan podcast where we had Mike Tyson on there. And Mike Tyson was doing... No, you laugh. But this was like legit one of the best. I've gained so much respect for Mike Tyson listening to this interview.
Right.
You need to go listen to it. I'm serious. You laugh, but I'm being 100% right now.
Okay. What did Mike Tyson say?
No, but anyway, so Mike Tyson is doing this whole resort, basically. Okay,
All
and
right.
it's like basically a marijuana type resort.
So you just go and
You go. There's a whole bunch of things. Weed is not the main thing. It's just part of the things you can do on this resort. Go listen to the podcast.
I'm just imagining like you're on the beach, like you know, resting, relaxing, reading your book, and then like
But it's kind of ranch style. So
ranch.
Okay,
so now imagine you're on the horse. You're just on the trail. You're out on the trail with your cowboy buddies, and then you smoke some weed with your horses or something.
Smoke weed with the horses?
Yeah, the horses get it. Smoke weed.
Like,
and the horses are like, nay, man, nay.
Stupid. Stop. Just no. Hang on, I'm pulling this up.
I'm pulling this up.
Because I was legit impressed with Mike Tyson's thing here. I just Googled Mike Tyson.
Did you ever see that
weed
show?
Ranch. See, look, he's building a weed ranch in California.
I mean, it's Mike Tyson. It's not surprising at all. It's like...
No, but I'm telling you though, you need to listen to this. I mean, he's talking about how he doesn't. So he doesn't. I think he said he doesn't drink anymore. Like he's doing like all this other stuff. Like he has no desire to box anymore. Like he's trying to like fix his relationship with his children and like all this kind of stuff.
Open his weed farm.
It's legit. Like it's just.
There comes a time in your life when you just need to focus on the important things of life, like you're opening your weed farm. I mean, I'm sure I'm making fun of it, but I think it's a good idea.
No, you legit need to.
I'll listen to it. Yeah.
You legit need to listen to that podcast. And it's like, it's almost 2 hours long, but it's like, I felt like it was 20 minutes.
Well, it's that immersive. And,
Yeah. So, but anyways. Yeah, 40 acres.
40 acres.
It's a 40-acre
Dang.
weed farm in California. Anyways, just go listen to it. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I'll listen to it.
So, I gained a lot of respect for him. Oh look, here he goes. Right here.
Okay, I'll give it a listen.
Yeah, give it a listen.
All right.
So, anyways. But anyways, I think it's good. You know, I don't smoke. I have asthma. I don't think it'd be very smart of me to do that. And it's illegal in Indiana on top of that. But
Yeah.
I did recently buy some stock because it is legal now to buy stock in these companies.
You bought stock in a
I
weed.
bought stock in a weed company.
Okay. You buy a weed company? Do you mean like?
It's basically a farm.
Okay.
So it's a place.
The Mike
Everything's
Tyson.
completely in. Nope, it's completely indoors, and it's a Canadian company. You know, and I'm just starting to get into it, learning, you know, how to deal, like, how to work, like, on the stock market and all that kind of craziness. But yeah, so
Okay.
I
Like I said, it's
much.
the future, so
I
it's
bought
good,
$50 worth of stock just to kind of play with it and see, you know. And they're, you know, it's a company that they haven't done a deal with Coke yet, but they're talking about doing a deal with Coca-Cola to make marijuana-infused pops.
Okay.
So Pepsi's looking at doing the same thing.
That's
Or
brilliant.
Pepsi.
It's like Pepsi or Coca-Cola and weed. People are gonna drink that up. You know. Did you? Speaking of Mike Tyson, did you ever see that show on Adult Swim? And it was like Mike Tyson Mysteries. And it was a cartoon.
I never watched it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's Mike Tyson.
Was it good?
Yeah, it is what it is. It's like it's basically it's like Scooby Doo style from like the '60s, but it's Mike Tyson with like his sidekicks going around solving mysteries, which is like what more can you ask for? It's just Mike, you know. It's and he's voiced by Mike Tyson.
No, I remember seeing it, but I feel like I was in college or something. Like I didn't care about any of that. What was it called? Mike Tyson's Mysteries?
Mike Tyson Mysteries.
Look at that. Third thing that comes up when Google Mike Tyson.
Isn't that the?
When was this out?
It was the
First episode aired
2014.
2014. So no, I wasn't in college. I was just grown.
You were just grown, so you couldn't watch it. Isn't that the dream though, just to have like a Scooby Doo type business where you go around solving crimes? Like,
Right. He's got the face tattoo and everything. Is it still going?
I don't know, maybe. I only saw it like once. I don't know.
It looks like the next. This is still an active thing.
Oh, it's still going. Okay, why
It
not?
says 2018, but then it says the next episode airs February 3rd at 9 p.m.
Yeah, so I guess it's still on. Mike Tyson is still solving mysteries with a ghost and a pigeon, and that's what's happening.
Is that what this thing is? Is that the ghost?
Yeah, I think he's a ghost. Yeah.
And then just a random chick in a like Adidas track.
Yeah. You had to cover all the bases.
Huh.
Yeah, so yeah, check that out. Mike Tyson Mysteries. That's what people are asking for.
Interesting.
All right,
Check it out.
what's going on this week in Florida?
What's going on this week in Florida? So that's one thing we're going to do every week. We're going to talk about just the craziness that goes on in Florida because it seems like every time I turn on, or really every time I get on the news online, I see something. So
People come up to me every day and they're like, "Steve, what's going on in Florida? Tell me." So now I can tell them.
Like
You're about to tell me.
random folks. On
Yeah,
the
random
street.
people come up and they shake me and they say, "What's going on in Florida?" Sorry. So now I can. Yeah.
All right, this is from the Miami Herald, and this was put out today. This was put out first thing this morning. So, Florida man stole laxatives because he thought they were opioids. So, basically, this guy and his roommate living together. His roommate was suspecting that he was stealing his pills. So, what his roommate did was took laxatives and put it in the prescription bottle that said hydrocodone, because I don't know how you say that. He put up a camera and everything, like showing this. We gotta post this video online.
Okay, so his roommate is like, I suspect my roommate is stealing my opioids. So he replaces them with laxatives, and he sets up a camera to catch him eating the laxatives. That's actually kind of cruel. Like
show him basically taking the.
Also, what kind of relationship is this where they're both on?
Look at this.
Okay.
So comes into this like really cluttered, dirty thing. He's breaking into this dude's lockbox. So they've got to be pretty close if he knows what the the combination is to his lockbox.
Yeah, I guess. Or he watched. Yeah.
Or he watched him. But I mean, it's kind of out in the open. It's just sitting on a desk.
So this is. I feel like both of these guys need help. Like, first of all, for the guy who owns the opioids, just the fact that he's like, maybe he needs it for pain or something. So maybe that's the case.
Yeah.
So maybe he needs it for pain, and his roommate's stealing them. So he's like, I'm gonna get him, teach him to steal my opioids. So he gives him laxatives, and then I don't know. That sounds desperate. If you're going into your roommate's room and like stealing their pills, and that's like, I think that's like when you know you need some help, and then it turns out to be a laxative.
Yeah. This is just
That's
ridiculous.
That's just a shitty thing to do.
It's a very... Wow. Yeah. So anyways, they got this guy on camera. Another one I saw, and they had this story on the radio this morning, but another one that I saw...
In Florida?
In Florida, where this guy he's magnet fishing. So like, put a magnet in the water, and you skim the bottom.
And it catches fish?
No, not fish. You catch like metal and
Oh, okay.
things like that. So
I was like, how you catch fish?
I think that's what it's
with a
called, magnet fishing.
Okay.
Anyways, so he does that, pulls up all the stuff, and he finds a World War II grenade.
Oh.
He pulls up a World War II grenade. So
I see
after he pulls it up out of the water, gets it in his boat, he puts all of his find. There's pictures of this online. It's ridiculous. He puts this old rusty, like there's seaweed and crap all over it. Like puts this grenade in the back of his truck and drives for 17 miles to a Taco Bell. Where he then goes inside and calls bomb squad from the Taco Bell.
From the Taco Bell. Why'd he go to a Taco Bell? Is he just like...
Why did he drive 17 miles? I want to know.
He's like... I guess the thought is like, if you're working at Taco Bell, you don't matter that much, But that's
just the dumbest thing. Like, at no point in that
17
miles was he like,
maybe
this
I
shit
should
can
call
blow up just right now.
Maybe I should call them to come to me, and I shouldn't drive 17 miles with a World War II. It was a World War II.
World War II
grenade in my truck.
Right.
That's stupid.
So, and then once the bomb squad got there, they confirmed that it was still active, but
like it's not bad enough that you're working at Taco Bell.
And then some dude
comes
in
like,
hey, I got a grenade in the back of the truck.
Got my World War II grenade. Who knows what to do? Did you ever work fast food, like at a Taco Bell?
Mm-mm. Never.
I worked at a Taco Bell one time
I remember.
It was for a month. It was about 6 weeks I worked there. It was the worst job I ever had. And I got fired.
You got fired?
Yeah. I got fired from Taco Bell.
You got fired from Taco Bell.
So this is what happened. I had this manager.
So
what happened was I had this manager who's, I'm not going to name him, but he was a jerk and just an unhappy person. So,
it's a safe place. You can name him.
Okay, his name was Michael. I don't know his last name, no, but that's such a general name. Anyone can be that. Anyway, So it was customary I was a cashier because I was too slow at making tacos, so they made me a cashier. So like, make the tacos faster. I'm trying, and then I just it gets everywhere, and yeah. So anyway, I'm
picturing like Buddy the Elf.
Yeah, it was like Buddy the Elf, and I couldn't make the tacos fast enough. So Michael, as we're in the call. Anyway, so as the cashiers would count their own till, which is what you carry the money in the register.
Right.
So you count at the end of your shift. You go and count your till. I worked one night late, and Michael's left for the day. And the third shift, the sketchy third shift manager is there, who kind of looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Oh. And he says, like, I'll take your till and I count it up for you. And then so he goes and he counts up my till, which is suspicious because I'm supposed to do it. And then he comes back and surprise, I'm short. So
how much?
It was like $50 or something short,
nice.
Which there's no way I was $50 short. Right. So he says I'm short, and then and then at this point I just had it with this whole place and working with Michael and working with this Taco Bell, it sucks. So my next shift I come in after my 6:30 shift, and I was gonna quit. So I get pumped up, listen to my music. I come in, and I'm like, I quit, Michael. And then at 6:30 a.m. And then he's like, well, what happened with the $50? And I was like, I don't know. So yeah, so I quit Taco Bell, and that was the rest is history. Life has gone up in quality since then.
It's gone up in quality. That's an intense start. What were you listening to get yourself pumped up to go to quit?
It's like, I don't know, like some DMX or something. No, I didn't listen to DMX. I don't know. It was like, I don't know. It might have been.
It was like he got out of jail this week.
Yeah, I saw that. DMX is out of jail. What was he there for?
I don't know.
Another news: DMX is out of jail. We don't know why.
We don't know why. I don't know.
Why? He's Googling right now. Why was DMX in jail?
Oh, look, he's getting ready to do a show. Oh, he's already done his own show.
He's doing a show. Yeah.
Earl Simmons. Maybe he's our cousin.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right, so let's see. I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
I don't know. This is, yeah.
Oh. Tax fraud.
Tax fraud?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my God.
What?
So this is like DMX. He's got 15 kids.
You got 15 kids?
That's what this says.
How many mothers?
I don't know.
Maybe it's the same mother.
Jeez, man. I need to read this. This is crazy. Anyways, I need to read more into that because I feel like there's more to it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot. 15 kids is a lot to...
Yeah,
lot
but
of
I
child
mean,
support.
the amount of money they're saying he owes is just ridiculous.
How much money they say?
Where'd it go? I lost it now. Let's turn the page. Let's see. $2.3 million just for that he now owes, I guess, because of backed child support. But he's been in jail for a year.
Okay.
They're saying he owes back taxes on 6 years. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
They have-
15 kids over 6 years is a lot of money.
No. That's the 6 years was for
That's for tax evasion.
the tax evasion.
And then that's in
The
addition
tax
to...
fraud.
Tax fraud?
Tax fraud.
So that's in addition to not paying child support.
Right, over the last year.
Okay. That's, yeah, can't do that. So if you go to jail for that,
God,
when you get
damn,
out, do you still have to
it's-
pay all that back?
I think.
So what about the time you're in jail? What if you're, or in prison, using prison, so what if you're in prison for, let's say you're in prison for 5 years. Does that mean when you get out you owe 5 more years and you still can't pay it? So what's the point?
I don't know.
So then it's just 5 more years of backed up child support.
I'm not that smart.
Yeah.
That's a lot of lawyer thinking that I can't do.
It's a lot of lawyer thing.
A lot of lawyer
I may
thinking.
not be a smart
I may
man,
not be very smart, man,
but I know how to pay child support.
but I don't. I would have a clue.
All right.
All right. So what do you think? Is this a keeper?
This is, yeah, I think this, I've been,
Evan Williams Peach?
Evan Williams Peach is a keeper. Drink it.
It's very
That's my
sweet.
review. Evan
Drink it.
Williams Peach. Drink it.
Drink it.
Drink it.
Drink it. All right. You got anything left? Shoot the rest of it. All right.
All right.
Episode 1. Oh, wow. He's there, Anderson Cooper.
Oh. All right. So that's it for this episode of 80 Proof. And I'm Steven Simmons.
I'm Isaac Thomas.
We'll see you next week.